So as you can see, I have my friend the HR diagram here. It's very important, especially when talking not only about classifying stars, but also about the lives of stars. Remember that stars that are happy, healthy adult stars chugging along, converting hydrogen into helium, more about that later, they live on the main sequence. When they die, when they no longer convert hydrogen to helium in their core, they leave the main sequence and evolve to a giant or a supergiant depending upon their mass. Now we can use that general idea that stars leave the main sequence when they begin to die to actually figure out the ages of star clusters. Stars in a star cluster, and it doesn't matter whether it's an open cluster or a globular cluster, they're all born at about the same time. So if we look at a star cluster, we will see stars of a variety of temperatures. Some will be cool, some will be hot. That is determined by how much mass they were born with. If a star is born with a low mass, it is going to spend its life being cool and dim. If a star is born with a higher mass, it's going to spend its life being hot and bright. Think about a smart car versus a Lamborghini. Okay? It's actually not a bad analogy. Think about the gas mileage. Okay? The smart car is going to get many miles per gallon. The Lamborghini, it's not miles per gallon, it's gallons per mile, right? And of course our sun is in the middle. But where we can actually go to a gas station and refill our Lamborghini, we can't do that with a star. A star is born with all the fuel it's going to have. So when it runs out, it has to die. So if we were to look at the lifespan of a star cluster over time, we would notice that the stars up here, the Lamborghinis, the sports cars, the ones that burn hotter and brighter and aren't very fuel efficient, they're going to die first. And the ones down here, the little smart cars, right? They're not very sporty, but they're very fuel efficient. They are going to last much longer. So if we were to visit this star cluster at the moment that it was born, all of the stars would be on the main sequence. There would be no giants, no supergiants, and no white dwarfs. If we came back after a few million years, the stars that were born with more mass, the ones that are hotter and brighter, they would have already died. They would have migrated over to the giant branch or the supergiant branch. If we came back millions of years later, then these stars would have then died and would have migrated over to the giants or supergiants. If we came back billions of years after the formation of that cluster, then those stars would have died and migrated over to the giant branch. So we can tell the age of a star cluster by looking at how much of the main sequence is missing. And the reason why the main sequence is missing is because those stars would have evolved to become giants or supergiants. So this is a really great way of figuring out the ages of star clusters.